Hello everybody. So in this video we're going to learn a little bit about how to read notes. We're going to do some more practice of under arrest, this time with the backing track, and of course we're going to warm up on our violins. So let's do that first. Get your violin up on your shoulder and make sure that you're holding your bow properly, and we're going to warm up on our G and D strings. So we'll start with the G. Lift this bowing elbow right up so you can reach over, and all I want you to do is copy whatever I play on the G string. So wait for me to go first, then you do yours. Here we go. Okay, and now we're going to do exactly the same thing, but this time on the D string, D for dogs, which is your next string along. So me first. Now let's talk about reading notes. As I said in last week's video, if you see one of these, it means you've got to play a note on your violin. But the problem is you don't know which note you've got to play. It could be the G, the D, the A, or the E string. That's why we have to use something called the stave, which is this thing here, these 5 lines that go across the screen. Now where the note is on the stave, that tells you what note you've got to play on your violin. This is where the 4 different notes go. So here you can see a G, a D, an A, and an E. Now we're not going to worry too much about the A and the E today, because we're playing under arrest, which just uses the G string and the D string. So let's take a closer look at the G and the D, and we'll start with the D string right here. So this is what a D looks like. Notice how the blob or note head is below the bottom line of the stave. Now let's compare that to a G, and the G is even lower still. In fact, it's so low that it doesn't even fit on the stave. It needs 2 extra lines underneath it. So take a good look at these notes and remember where they go. This is a D and this is a G. Now take a look at this. So this is a mixture of D's and G's. Ignore that curly thing at the start. That's called a treble clef. We don't need to worry about that for now. I would like you to pause the video and see if you can work out what those 3 notes are. And if you like, you can also have a go at playing them on the violin. So pause the video now. Okay, so those 3 notes were D, then G, then D. Now did you also notice how there was a rest at the end there after the 3 notes? Now let's try another example. So this time there's 4 notes, and again I'd like you to pause the video and see if you can work out what the notes are, then play them on the violin. So pause the video now. Okay, and those 4 notes were G, G, D, G. Now the last thing that I'd like to do in this video is to practice under arrest all the way through with the backing track. Before we try that, let's just have another look at the notes which we did in last week's video. So could you please pause the video now and just have a go at playing all of under arrest all the way through on your own. Okay, we're almost ready to play this all the way through. Just remember at the end here there is a repeat mark which is telling us to go straight back to the beginning. And remember there is also an introduction. That means a bit at the start where you have to wait to come in. So make sure you don't start playing until I have counted to 8 first. So now I'm going to play the whole of Under Arrest on my violin with the introduction at the beginning and with the repeat at the end, and I would like you to play along with me. So get your violin ready. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. G, 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 G. Rest. D, 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 D. Rest. G, G, G. Rest. G, G, G. Rest. D, 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 G, G, G. Repeat. G, 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 G. D, 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 D. G,